What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast No Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about a couple under-the-radar stories. Some of them are rumors, some of them, I guess, are official news, but I kind of want to just throw them all together in this video and see how it does. So let's start with the first thing I want to talk about being Resident Evil 9. Now, normally I would make a full video on it, but this rumor is pretty small, I guess, in the grand scheme of things. It probably has room for more stuff to be added to it later, but it's from Dusk Golem, who, we've talked about many times, and he does all of the Resident Evil rumors, basically. And he basically, somebody asked him a question, he answered it, and he says Resident Evil 9 will be set on an island in the Southeast Asia Sea, and he says it was inspired by Singapore specifically. So not too much you can gather from that. There has been the talk, even in like the comments of these posts about, oh, well, this is how you get an open world, right? Or even semi-open world. We're still not sure. Well, actually, he's the one who kind of started that rumor, right? That it was going to be a more open world game. I guess an island does make sense, right? Just kind of putting it in the middle of somewhere. But like I said, I think there's room for that to grow and for Capcom to officially, talk about and announce it whenever we see the game. And so we'll just move on from there. Okay, so next story, which is pretty, I would say maybe the most under the radar of these three. Don't know how many people would care, but I do. The title from Gaming Leaks and Rumors on Reddit, Media Molecule's next project, more of a game than a creative tool, according to former creative director Mark Healy. And I actually watched this entire interview. I clicked it just to kind of hear the parts where he talked about what's next, but I actually, stayed and went backwards, rewinded and forwarded, and I think it was actually a really good interview from both of them, and he brought a good amount of insight, but also just a lot of like his own opinions. And what it kind of sounds like is, how can you trust him? Well, he said actually multiple times in the interview, he actually goes out to like drink with the people that still work at Media Molecule. So yeah, he's not there, and he hasn't been there, I think, for a couple years now. Again, he had a very high position in the past, but he knew their inner workings years ago. He knows their inner workings now, and he even says like he doesn't think it's a spoiler or something that breaks anything by saying it's a new IP. We're all pretty sure that they've announced that it was actually going to be a new IP, so not Little Big Planet and not Dreams 2, right? But it's a good interview. I'd recommend people checking it out. He talks about kind of the failure of Dreams. He talks about how things have kind of changed inside Media Molecule over the last couple years, but yeah, he specifically talks about their next thing. And yeah, you would imagine a game being a game and not a creative tool, but yet again, you look at Media Molecule, it makes sense. It sounds like they kind of got one more shot, that Sony does have trust in them, but maybe not like an insane amount of trust, and they'll probably be allowed to make this thing and see how it does. So making it more, again, leaning towards the game and not a thing that can have other creatives create on it, which is definitely cool, and I think that's what makes Dream special, and it's part of what made Little Big Planet special, but they do have to get to profitability, right? They have to start making a lot of money with this next game, and I don't think you're going to do it doing something like what you did with Dreams. And the final story I want to talk about is not necessarily even news. I guess some people knew that it was coming. I told my wife, hey, did you know Hades 2 is out in early access today? And she said, yeah, I think the release date, has been out for a little while. I had no idea. I went on Twitter, later on in the day, saw review scores that are calling it like a game of the year like quality, even though it's early access. 30 plus hours worth of like gameplay actually there. It doesn't even feel like an early access game is what I've been seeing. So not only did I see review scores, but then I saw, hey, Hades 2 launches today, early access, $29.99 to get in. I've said this before, and I do think it's important to say it because I'm really not a fan of early access games, but for whatever reason, the last little while, No Rest for the Wicked, I gave a chance. I mean, they gave me a code, but I did apply for it, so I was willing to give No Rest for the Wicked a chance. Hades 2 is another one where it's like, I don't care if it's early access, I don't care what it is, I'm giving it a try. Normally, I don't. Honestly, I prefer my games to be complete when I play them, and honestly, the modern state of gaming, even when you buy a big new game, it's half the time it's not even complete right out of the gate. So I do like my games complete, but you know what? For as quality of a studio as they are, and for a quality of a IP, I guess, as Hades is, I fully trust them. So I had no idea, kind of just wanted to make this part of the video just to throw it out there. If you're wondering what I'll be doing tonight, is I'll be playing a lot of Hades 2. So hopefully I can do a video or something tomorrow on Podcast Now. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.